Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, Let's Make Up. Thank you so much for watching. For today's video, I'm going to talk to you guys about some pretty exciting products because we're at a pretty exciting time of the year in terms of Sephora. If you don't know what I'm talking about, Sephora, it's currently happening right now for VIB Rouge members. I'm going to try and get this video up on the 4th of November or the 5th, I'm not sure. But anyways, right now VIB Rouge members have full access to 20% off anything from Sephora. And I can't remember when it's finished, but then VIB members are gonna start a few days later, and then the Beauty Insiders are gonna start a few days after that. And I think it ends on the 10th. Like everybody loses access on the 10th. And I think VIB Rouge and VIB members get 20%, and I think Beauty Insiders get 15, or maybe it's all 20. I can't remember the full details. All I know is that right now the sale has started, so I thought that I would talk to you guys about some things that I recommend you potentially picking up because of the sale. So the majority of what I'm talking about right now is pretty expensive. I just want to disclaim that because what I have here is, I wish I got it with the 20% off. So to my understanding, all of the products that I'm going to be talking to you guys about in this video are still available on Sephora. They may be sold out, but they're still available to get once they come back in stock. So let's get started. I'm going to talk to you guys about this little guy right here. This is the Hourglass Ambient Light. It's called the Ambient Metallic Strobe Lighting Palette. So essentially it's a highlighting palette, and Hourglass calls them ambient powders because that's their thing. But you get 3 beautiful powders in here. They're quite light for any complexion. I do think that light to medium deep skin tones can get away with this, but the first 2 shades up here might be a little bit too ashy on deep skin tones, so I kind of wish they came out with 2 palettes like this, one for light to medium skin tones and then one for medium to deeper skin tones. But anyways, long story short, this is a really beautiful palette if you like intense highlights and you like to like mix up your highlights and, you know, all that jazz. It was really expensive. I think it was $75 Canadian, something like that, and that's a lot for highlighters. So you do get 3, but it's still a lot for that kind of product because it's not something you're going to be putting all over your face all the time. It's an optional product. So definitely take advantage if you were looking at this. Take advantage of the sale and pick it up. Next up is this brush. Now I've had this brush for years, and it still works just as it did the first day I got it. This is by Marc Jacobs. I will search and search. Oh wait, hold on. It's there, the number. Never mind, that was just his Marc Jacobs logo. I don't think these brushes have a number, or maybe they do and this just rubbed off, but I will find the number and put it in the description bar somewhere on the screen, I don't know. But this is the brush I use to set my makeup every day with my setting powder, whether it's pressed or loose. And this is my absolute favorite brush. I'm sure there are better alternatives out there, but I wanted to talk to you guys about the amazingness of this brush because I've been using this for literally 4 years now, I think. 4 or 5 years. Can you see the powders when I do that? I should stop. As we all know, Marc Jacobs is not the cheapest brand, but they do carry very stellar products. I love a lot of their products. I love their eyeshadow palettes. I love their bronzer, specifically the coconut bronzer that came out this year. But this brush is wonderful. I love it because it's dense. It's synthetic, so you can use cream products. I don't usually use cream products with it, but sometimes I do. But what I use this for is, like I said, I set my makeup and I literally do this. And then I kind of swirl it in, but I don't dust. I don't believe in dusting powders on dry skin because it gets really cakey. Next up is this face primer. Now this is, I didn't buy this at Sephora actually. I bought this at Shoppers Drug Mart, which here in Canada, it's kind of like Ulta. Not exactly the same. It's kind of like a pharmacy slash drugstore slash kind of like an Ulta with the high-end stuff. They don't carry every high-end brand, but Guerlain is one of the brands that they carry. And I actually redeemed this with my Optimum points. If you don't know what Optimum points are, you basically collect points based on what you purchase, and eventually you have Shoppers dollars. And I basically bought this for free with my Shoppers dollars, Optimum points. So this retails for I think $80-something at Sephora, which is insane. I would never ever pay that much for a primer, but again, I use my Shoppers points, so I technically didn't pay. Whatever. But for those of you that maybe don't collect Shoppers Optimum points, or for those of you that don't live in Canada and can't do that, they do sell this at Sephora, and this primer is my #1 holy grail primer. I don't use it often because it is so expensive. I like to use it on days where I really want to look perfect on my skin. Other primers are good, don't get me wrong. This isn't like the only good primer out there, but it is definitely my favorite because it gives my skin everything I want it to in one product. For For those of you that don't know, I have dry, dull, uneven, I don't have the best skin on the market, and this gives me radiance, and on top of that, it smells like a meadow. Like, it just smells like you're putting luxury on your face. And on top of that, there's, I think, 14 karat gold flecks in this that dissolve as you rub it into your skin. So that is just an amazing bonus to this product. But at the end of the day, my makeup goes on perfectly. My makeup looks flawless. I always get compliments on my makeup when I have this primer underneath. And the makeup just sticks to it. It sticks, it doesn't separate, it doesn't get all fadey around the jawline like makeup usually does throughout the day. And my face just looks smooth like a baby's butt. I will say though, this at the end of the day, I'm very dewy, but I'm dry, so that's okay. So if you have oily skin, I would maybe test this out first before you invest in it because it is so expensive, and see how your skin reacts to it throughout the day, because this isn't mattifying. This is definitely a radiance primer. This is meant for more dry ladies. So yeah, let me know. Let me know if you get this because I want to hear your thoughts because I love it. This palette though, this is Tarte's, one of their newest eyeshadow slash, well, it's the Shapester, what are you called? Clay Play face shaping palette. This is fairly new, and when you open it, it smells fantastic. It smells like, oh, like a chocolate bar. These are essentially all the essential colors, and you get pretty much all mattes. Some of these like lighter shades have a little bit of a shine to them, but other than that, it's all matte. And you can get away with cool tone, neutral, warm looks, and you get 3 contour powders that you can use as bronzers slash eyeshadows slash eyeliners if you want to like kind of smoke out your lower lash line or anything like that. The best part is you have brow bone highlights, you have crease shades, you have deepener shades, and you have a black. So this palette is fantastic. It's pretty pricey. I think it's 60 something Canadian dollars. I actually got this during a Sephora weekly wow, and I actually paid $32 for it. So I paid almost half the price. And I think that this palette is amazing. I haven't had it for long, but I had to throw it in this video because it just, everything just works. Although I love makeup and I am obsessed with glitter and color, I am a neutral girl at heart. I will always be like nude lips, nude eyes, smoky eye, winged liner, and a nice glow with like a neutral cheek. That is literally my go-to look. And this palette allows me to do that with minimal amount of products. I get like a 3-in-1 kind of, because I get a black, which eyeshadow palettes never have blacks. And I don't really need a black in a palette, but it's nice to have that with me if ever I'm feeling more dramatic that day. And I don't need to bring my Kat Von D contour palette because I have my contours here, so it's one less package to bring with me when I travel. The packaging is also pretty cute, but it's not the biggest deal. Again, this is a perfect steal if you want to use your 20% off on this, and I highly recommend Tarte eyeshadows. They are one of the best. Oh boy, I have another Tarte palette here. Don't kill me, this video is not sponsored by Tarte or anybody. This video is not sponsored. This is the Tartiest Pro palette. I love this sucker. This is a little bit older. I'd say it's been out for about a year and a bit now. This is kind of like what I just showed you, but up a step. If you like more color in your looks, a little bit of shine. This is essentially all matte, and then you have this row of 4 beautiful shimmer shades. It's a beautiful palette. They're buttery, they blend well. I accidentally gouged one of my nails in the shadows and it broke my heart. In the past, it didn't happen just now. My nails are super, super short right now. But anyways, again, you have another black eyeshadow. You have amazing crease shades. Let me show you. I just don't want to blind you with the mirror. Can you see that? Can you see that? Like I said, you get shimmers and then all of these crazy mattes. You get nice cool tone purples, some nice warmer neutral browns, a black, some peachy shades up here. You kind of get everything you need in one palette. Again, I love makeup, so I have this one and the other Tarte palette, but it all depends on you as a person. If you like more color in your looks and, you know, this is still essential, or not essential, this is still good to travel with, you just don't get any face products in there. So, I mean, they're both great deals. At the end of the day, it's your choice what you want to go with, but I recommend this as well because it is a little bit more on the pricey side and you can get it for less with the Sephora VIB sale. This next palette is not foreign to my channel. I talked about it a couple of videos ago in a favorites video, and I think that this is the most essential besides the primer. This is the most essential product, I think, to pick up during the VIB sale because it is the one and only Natasha Denona eyeshadow palette. This is the Sunset palette, and this is a palette that literally was out of stock for so long, and I had to wait and wait and wait, and it was the worst feeling ever. But when I got it, it was like, oh, I got it. It was the best feeling ever, and this is what you get. So if you are a warm toned lady and you love warm tones, if you're just that kind of person, get this palette. It is the most expensive palette I've ever had. This is the most expensive palette I own. and it still pains me to this day when I realize or remember or remind myself how much I paid for this. But then I look at it and I feel better. It's beautiful. And you can get 20% off of this palette. It's, I think, I don't even remember, and I don't want to. What are the odds? Another highlighting palette. Anastasia Beverly Hills with Nicole Guerrero. This is still available at Sephora. You can get your hands on it for 20% off, and I think it's a steal. There is a dupe by ColourPop. Let me get it, hold on. This one is called I Like Your Face. Okay, you see that? You see that? Let me just open the other one, hold on. These are the two palettes. Obviously, they're not the exact same, but they're pretty dang close, and once they're on the skin, you cannot even tell. ColourPop one is absolutely stunning. I know this isn't a dupe video, but I just wanted to throw that out there in case you just don't have the funds to purchase this one. You can always pick up this one and get the same results, more or less. This ColourPop one is so beautiful. I love all the shades in both palettes. But since we're talking about the Sephora VIB sale, if you do want to pick up this palette, definitely check it out because you can get 20% off. So I feel like I should have talked about this first because this is a skincare product, but whatever, we're going to talk about it now. I mentioned this in my previous video. I love this serum. It's the Drunk Elephant TLC Framboos Glycolic Night Serum, and this is really good for just evening out the skin tone, getting rid of dead skin cells, minimizing pores, smoothing out the surface. That's the biggest difference I've noticed in my skin, was how smooth my skin felt and how even it was. So this is, again, very, very pricey. It's a great investment to get, especially during the sale. So I think you guys should definitely check this out if you have similar skin concerns to myself. All right, besides the Natasha Denona Sunset palette, this is probably the bougiest product that I own. And this is the Victoria Beckham x Estee Lauder collaboration. And this is a skin perfecting powder. Now, I really wanted to get the La Mer, the powder by La Mer, but it's always sold out when I try and get it. And that I recommend you get too, but I think it's sold out because I checked today, and today was the first day of the sale. So let's hope it comes back before the end of the sale. But for now, we're going to talk about this. This powder is beautiful. It has a very neutral to yellow undertone. It's very light. I'm not sure how this is going to work for deeper skin tones because I haven't tested it and I haven't seen it on deeper skin tones. But for myself, if you're anywhere near my complexion, this works beautifully. I especially love it under the eyes as a setting powder under the eyes. It gives a very, very seamless, flawless airbrush finish. And again, I like to buff my powders into my face. I like to pounce them in. I don't like to like dust them because I feel like it moves my foundation around underneath and then it just looks like this cakey disaster. So again, the way I apply it, I buff it into the skin and I use very little amounts at a time. This beautiful, beautiful powder, it was very expensive. I wish I waited, but I thought it was going to be sold out because it has been around for a while. That's how the brands get you. If I were looking ahead and I knew that this was going to be available, then I would have waited to get it for this sale specifically because it is a very good product. The actual packaging is very nice. It has that satisfying but you know what I mean. And it's in this beautiful gold packaging, very, very bougie. I really like it. But again, the product itself is beautiful and you get a nice mirror and you can easily do your makeup with the mirror. So yeah, I really like this. I'm trying to hold back from getting another one. Anyways, guys, that completes the video. I really hope that this was helpful for you. Let me know what you decided to get down below during this year's VIB sale. I'd love to hear what you guys picked up. I actually put a little order through today, so I can't wait for those to come in. I did miss out on a couple things because a few of the things I wanted sold out like that, but it's okay, we'll live. Please comment down below as well, letting me know what you want to see next, and don't forget to like this video and subscribe and hit that little bell that everybody talks about. Little bell that lets you know when I upload a new video so that you come first. Thank you so much again. I hope you all have an amazing day and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!